What's up, party people? This is Jude Snowboarder here from Facebook, Jude's Junk, Facebook comic book shop and YouTube channel. And this is about people going into a local comic book store, finding prices on books, going to the register, and then the owner or the worker, the employee says, I'm going to look up those prices. It's really a miserable experience for any buyer. They take the time to drive down, they go into the store, the whole point is to look through back bins for a deal. This is what these people are doing. I don't even go to local comic book stores anymore. I'm not going to dig through a bunch of back bins because I don't believe I'll ever find a deal. But some people do, and they do find deals, and that's the whole point of investing an hour and a half flipping through books, looking at all the cool covers, maybe to find, oh, there's one in there at a low price. And then they walk up to the counter and they say, oh, nope, we're going to look everything up on eBay. That would be like me going into a grocery store, finding out they mispriced eggs, because right now they're like $12 a dozen, but they mispriced eggs at $4, and I'm like, holy cow, and I'm like grabbing all the dozens of eggs, going to the front counter, and they're like, oh no, they're not 4. I go, they were marked 4, and they have to honor it. You know why? Because I just spent the time to come into their store, pulled something off the shelf, put everything in the cart, and I've already made plans about what I'm going to spend, what I'm not going to spend, what I'm not going to buy. And I come to the counter and they got to honor that. And they know they got to honor it. That's why every grocery store does. Otherwise, I just may not go back to that store. And this is what's happening with LCSs. If they are going to do that model, then that's not going to be nice for the customers. The other option is to not price any comic books. Just leave them all out there, and if you want some books, bring them to the forward and I'll tell you what the price is. Well, that's a horrible experience too. Have you ever gone to a thrift store or a garage sale and nothing is marked? Oh, what is this worth? What is this worth? What does this cost? What does this cost? What does this cost? Nobody wants to do that. I don't want to sit there and say, I want to look at the item, look at the prices, and move on. I want to look at 5 or 6 items, and then in a couple seconds make a decision, move to the next 5 or 6 items. I want to flip through the box as fast as possible. I'm looking for keys at a steal. That's what these LCSs don't realize, is the people that go into their store are looking for steals. Now, some people are not looking for steals. Some buyers are looking to fill their run. Hey, I need these Spawn. I need them, so I'm going to buy them. Whatever market value is. If you can send me 10 of them, the same price that eBay sells them for, but only give me one shipping cost that's cheap, $5 for 10 books, then I'll go through you, Jude. So there's different types of buyers, and the people that go through and dig through the back bins at local comic book stores, they're looking for the bargain. You take away the bargains, there's no reason for them to go into the store. I've already stopped going into stores, even when I'm in a town. That used to be the cool thing. And everything is overpriced, and they don't seem to be friendly. Just like in the 80s, comic book stores owners were overweight bikers, smelled like smoke, and it was unfriendly. I didn't like going to the dealers, comic book stores in the 80s, and that was good because I bought mostly newsstand all during the 80s, which ended up being great now. But as a kid, it was really a bummer that I had that experience as a comic book shop. I have a local comic book store in Meridian, Idaho, that is totally different. They're a coffee shop. They don't have rows and rows of back issues. They have a lot of new stuff. That's what they specialize in. Plus they have statues and games and cards and whatnot, but they don't have aisles and aisles and aisles of back books. If that's going to be your thing, you got to give them away on the cheap. You go out and buy a collection for 10 cents each, and you sell a $20 book for $5, and that's just the price of doing business. Now, if you're going to try to milk each one, you're going to lose customers. Now, I'm a dealer, and I have the same dilemma. What do? I don't sell raws online anymore. Way too much work. If I got a 9.6 plus and I got to try to prove it, I got to provide 10 picks, which I do provide 10 picks, but I don't try to price it. It's the work it takes to sell a $5 raw is pretty much the same work it takes to sell a $2,000 9.8 graded signed book. I got to take the pictures, I got to write the marketing ad, I got to do the marketplace ad, I got to go put it on my shop. It's a good 5-10 minute process to do all the marketing for one book, and it's just not worth it for $2 raws. And then those prices change so quickly. So the only time I sell raws is when someone comes to me and says, hey, I'm missing these books. I want these Captain Americas. Oh, okay, I got 3 of them. I'll be the same price as eBay, but just save you money on tax, save you money on shipping, and then I give discounts for cash. So I don't really have a solution, and this video is both for buyers and sellers. Buyers get mad at local comic book shops. They don't have an option. They can price it, and that's not going to work. They cannot price it. Now, if you say you want them to price it, and you want to be able to dig through and look for deals, and if they're not catering to you, that sucks for those type of buyers, yes. I'm one of those buyers. I don't look for deals at comic book stores anymore because they're not there to be had. They usually overprice them, and I don't want to go up and haggle with every single little book. Now, if you have a store that is still, if you're a seller that still caters to the bargain hunter, and you're a store that still does that model, market that like crazy. Let people know, hey, we honor the prices, we price them low, and we're willing to get rid of them quickly. But as an online dealer, I don't deal with raws. I'm having a hard time getting rid of them. It takes too much time to market them. So mostly I just deal with 9.8 graded books. But it's an interesting dilemma, and the people that complain about it, I don't think they realize that there isn't a solution for someone like me. I have 8,000 books. I can't price all 8,000 and keep up with it. I don't have the staff to go in and reprice them, especially in this market. I did a whole video that suggested the volatility of the market's not going to go back to normalcy. Before 2019, you saw all the graphs, they were pretty much flat for 10 years. And a lot of people think, well, after this blip, it's going to go back to being flat. I don't think so. I think I explained it in my video that the volatility is going to continue because buyers put more weight on last sale than they do on a 12-month moving average. People don't even look at 90-day moving averages anymore. A book that sold 3 months ago for 100 might be selling for 70 now, and there's no way they're going to pay the average. So, I'm sorry, I just drove down a mountain. My ears need to pop. So anyways, this is to try to encourage dealers that you got to find a new model. If you're pushing away certain clients, hopefully you're going after a different target market that is going to work with what you want to provide. Not honoring the sticker prices and looking up eBay. Maybe there's some buyers that like that. I don't know any buyers that like that. I don't want to go into a grocery store or a thrift store and have to go up and ask for every single one. I just will avoid the hassle. I can get online and go through my comic shop and look at all the books and the prices, and they'll honor theirs. The online stores can honor it, so why can't the shops? So if you're a store owner, I feel your pain, but I don't think there's a good market for all those. There's a good way to market all those old back books, especially fillers. For buyers, it is a dilemma, and it is what it is. And if a seller doesn't want to do a certain business model, you're going to avoid going to them. And the question is, are they going to have enough buyers that don't mind the seller looking up the prices? Maybe there's people committed to that local comic book shop that don't mind paying fair market value. I did a whole bunch of videos on what fair means in fair market value. It doesn't mean it's a fair price for all either. So maybe that's what the new LCSs are looking for, is clients that don't mind you looking up the value, because clients know that they are volatile. If you're just looking for steals, I think those days for many LCSs are over. Now I know there's people on here that buy these huge large lots, 30,000 books. They pay a quarter piece, and if they can get $1 each, that's 4 times their money. So they'll just move it, and they do that on auctions online. They do a $1 auction, and that's something you can manage online. You don't need a store to do that. So is the storefront have a future? My LCS, which is right here in Meridian, they have diversified. They're not like the comic book stores I'm familiar with in the 80s. They get a lot of coffee shop owners and D&D game players and role-playing games and action figures and large statues and real lightsabers that sell for $500 each. And
real?
Well, real meaning large, lifelike ones that are expensive. Real expensive, maybe is what I should say. So anyways, give your LCSs a break. If they don't want to honor their prices, they're probably either going to go out of business, or they're just looking for a different market than you. Anyways, I wish I had a solution on how to sell my back issues, and a lot of people do have different suggestions, but I haven't figured out a good way to do it yet because it's just too time consuming for the small profit margin. Anyways, happy hunting, guys. Hope this helps.